Hi people, how are you? Today we're going to be talking about The Last Hero by Linden A. And I have to say that, yeah, it's going to be complicated. I'm not going to make any spoilers, so it's going to be complicated because there's lots of things to talk about this trilogy. I mean, for me it's been kind of like mind-blowing because in some way I felt like I was like these people in the trilogy were like my family, kind of dysfunctional family, like real life families, or it's just mine. Yeah, I don't know how they did that, but they created this world in which I felt like I really knew these people, and for me, reaching the end of the trilogy, it's kind of bittersweet because, it's like closing this chapter, and I don't know if we are going to be seeing them again or not. For me, one of the most brilliant things that they did with this book is that there is lots of things to unpack here. I mean, obviously it has lots of LGBTQIA, it has a lot of queerness, but it has lots of very important things too. It talks about abuse to women, abuse to those who are different, the imbalance of power, looking into the mirror and not accepting who you are because you feel like you have been born in a body that doesn't reflect how you feel inside, about love, acceptance, about fighting maybe against oneself. I'm thinking about Astrid here, very no spoilers, but coming to realize, to embrace every part of you, about how powerful people always have like this bigger chance of doing whatever they want, about how the story is always told by the victors, about how sometimes all of us sometimes we find ourselves in situations where you don't know how to react. And I think about the second book, in which when Luz is approached by the rebels, so to speak, I don't want to make any spoilers, but that happens in the second book, and she's thinking they're doing the right things for the right reason, but do I dare to sacrifice everything that I have in order, to fight for the right thing? And I love that there is this moment that she doesn't jump, that it's like, that she really stops and thinks, okay, I have this in my life now. This is what I wanted all my life. And when faced with the idea of doing more for other people, it's not like she says, okay, let's go, let's do it. But that she really reflects about the things that she's going to gain in, like personal gain, like growing as a person, being able to help others, doing the right thing, versus the thing that she's going to lose. The house that she has, the job that she has, the connections, whatever. And this is something that I really love about this trilogy. It's that the stakes are very real. You have people who are going to be doing heroic things or dastardly bad things, but I love that it's not something that just happens because someone snaps a finger, but it's like this progress that the characters, have, this evolvement, this involvement. I want to say so many things about this book, and I'm not going to make justice to it. I can't, because I love the trilogy. I think we are going to be, in this book, we are going to be following the people that we left in the second one. Things are going to reach this point into which war seems to be the conclusion, the foregone conclusion. There's going to be, there's different factions, there's different people, and there's going to be this big fight. And this war, the stakes of this war are very high, and I think that at some point in the book we are going to realize that it can mean total extinction of different, I was going to say species, but I don't know if some of them will qualify as a species. I'm thinking about synthetics, for instance. But and there's people who are going to be voting for this war, and there's people who are going to try to stop this war. And we are going to be finding horrible things like mind control, like trying to use technology to control people, putting women into subversive positions, selling each other out. And as I say, there's lots of things in this book that for me they were amazing. And we're going to be following the hand sign, which I love to have this inclusion here. And I also did love to have like chronicle illnesses depiction in this book, because I think that's something that's also important. I don't know how Linden managed to fit all of this into their trilogy, because it's amazing all the topics that they, touch into this book. As I said before, I mean, for me, it's one of the most important things, and the fact that it really flows with the story. Everything has its place, everything belongs. It's not like no one is preaching to you, no one is trying to convince you of anything. The things are as they are. It is as it is, and that's how it is in real life. You're going to encounter someone who has like chronic pain. You're going to encounter someone who's attracted to people from the same sex. You're going to encounter someone who feels like they are non-binary, or that they are like in the wrong body and want to transition, and it's real life. And you're going to find someone who is going to want to go to war because there's profits to be made, or because there's factions and there's these ideas that we have been fed about who's different and who acts different. And it's like having the real world in space with amazing dope characters. And there's been tons and tons of good reviews about this book, so mine is going to fall short, I know. But yeah, I do recommend this trilogy to you if you like LGBT characters, if you like to have books that you're reading and you are in a very immersive world building in which everything makes sense, everything makes you think, and everything makes you part of the story. And also it's denouncing things about the world in which we live nowadays, about those people who are different and are trying to adapt, about having your own voice and being able to tell your story. I think that the presence of you having your own voice is something that's very important to the core of this book, to the point that there is some factions inside this book who are going to be robbed of their own voice. So they remain silent, they don't tell secrets, they don't tell stories. And I think it's a very powerful message here to have all those people that have been rendered voiceless in the story. And as I say, the imbalance in power, that there's people who have money or have position or have names and can do like whatever they want. This idea of humanity always going to war because we don't accept those who are different or do things differently, and it's a pity. And this idea of being able to accept yourself and having people accept who you are, even in your own family. And if your own family doesn't accept who you are, you can say, this ends here, I'm finding your own family, your own tribe, your own people. And this book is amazing. The characters are amazing. The plot is amazing. The topics it covers are amazing. Everything, it's amazing. The trilogy, for me, it's amazing, and I do recommend it to you so very much. So thank you for watching this misshapen review. And I hope that somewhat I have convinced you to pick these books, because they are amazing. So thank you for watching. Bye!